better teams in Hillsborough County.
Mm-hmm.
Just start talking about some of the ones that you like currently.
Currently, I like Tampa Catholic. Man, they look really, really good this year. Jesuit, they look pretty solid, although they did take a loss this past Friday. Armwood, of course, they look great this year. Tampa Bay Tech, they look pretty good this year. They had a big win, it looks like, and Wharton. Those are the teams right now. I feel like they're getting the most hype.
Armwood's traditionally been good. I think they're right now hitting on some cylinders. They got a young quarterback. The offensive line could be really special. They're 2-0, big wins over Venice to start on week 1, and then had a big one against Bloomingdale. Both put up a tremendous amount of points. Is it safe to say that Armwood is probably the best team right now in Hillsborough County?
They're looking good. I mean, they're getting the big wins. They had a big blowout against the Bloomingdale Bulls, 55-0. To me, yeah, I think that they probably are one of the strongest teams. I think it is going to come down to that Jesuit Armwood game, I think, and it's going to really test them. But as far as most of your teams in Hillsborough County, I do think that Armwood probably is the top team.
Now, Jesuit 1-1, all right. They beat Wharton soundly 34-20, but then go down and lose to Treasure Coast. And unless this max prep score I'm looking at, this says 67-28. Is that correct? Did that really happen to a Jesuit team?
It's possible.
We gotta research that and find is no way that a Matt Thompson led Jesuit team gave up 67 points.
I'm gonna check that right now, real quick. While we're talking,
I'm just gonna double check, man. I'm check Score Stream because I just looked at Max Preps.
Yeah, Score Stream. Check that. That's what I was gonna check. So I did have one of the Jesuit players message me late that night. They said, "Flex, don't post us," that told me that they got the loss. But I didn't know how bad it was. But dang,
I'm looking on Score Stream, Flex, and they're saying 66-28.
Wow.
That's almost unheard of.
Scoring.
Jesuit usually doesn't give up 66 points in 4 games in the season, let alone 1 game. I got to watch the film. I'll get the huddle and see what happened, man. But that just sounds crazy. Now, moving past Jesuit, what is up with this Sumner team?
Oh, wow. Sumner? Damn, they're looking really sharp, man. Well, I've been a big fan of Sumner even last year. I got to go record Greg and saw what a good QB he was. I got to meet Tyler, that really good wide receiver. They also have his last name is Addison. He's got a lot of offers. He's probably a 3-4 star. So they have a really good team. I actually grew up with 2 of the coaches, which was pretty cool. So when I went down there, I got to talk to the coaches, and they accepted me right in. They also picked up somebody. His name is Malik Brown out of Armwood. He's a wide receiver. I heard he hurt his shoulder or his arm in a practice, so he hasn't got to actually showcase his talent yet for them. But he's gonna be a sight to see. I already know he was one of my favorite at Armwood, and he transferred. I was kind of, I knew that was a big pickup for Sumner. So they already have 2 big wins. So I think they're gonna keep strolling along.
And not to count out Tampa Bay Tech, who's won a lot of games in recent years. A big win versus Steinbrenner, a quality win versus Plant in game 1. So what are your impressions on Tech right now?
Tech, yeah, they look good. They have probably one of the best wide receiver cores. You got they have a really good line. I know they actually had a transfer from Armwood. I saw one of his highlights last Friday. He had picked up a fumble and got a touchdown. They had a big win against Steinbrenner, which I did see Steinbrenner. I saw them in their blue-white game a few weeks ago, and they look like a pretty solid team. So to beat them that big, was a pretty good win for Tampa Bay Tech. I think they want the city to know that they're not, they might be still young and getting their team together, but they're definitely not out the picture. They're definitely a strong team.
All right. I need you to post some locker room material. We're going to take Lakeland, Armwood, Tech, Sumner, Jesuit. Those 5. Ready? I need you to put them in order. Let me give them to you again. Lakeland, Armwood, Tech, Jesuit, Sumner. And go. Who you got?
All right, so I would put Lakeland, Armwood, Jesuit, Tech, Sumner.
Okay. All right.
Yep. There you go.
Now we hit on Armwood a lot. Derek, I'm tapping you in. You're up. You've been cutting film, grinding away. Give us a player that you've seen on film that stood out the first couple weeks of the season.
Well, I mean, when you're talking about Armwood, you always have to look at their offensive line. They've just got such a big offensive line. They start leaning on you. And they've got a running back over there, number 2, that is just lights out. He's as good as really any in the area. He'll be a 20, 30, 40 type of FBS offer type of kid. He's really a special player. But they just have so many kids. They've got they got a young cover corner, number 11, who really does some good things on tape. They have an athlete, number 4. I'm looking at film right now. I'm breaking it down. I'm going to feature that here maybe in a few minutes. But the running back, I got to tell you that the running back is just a special player. Yeah, he is. He's something else.
Now Pringle's been cutting it up, man. Why Derek is pulling that film up? He was going to share that film with us. Pringle has been cutting it up. He went for 300 yards against Venice. I just got the final stats from Coach Davis at Armwood. Let me see what he did against Bloomingdale. Pringle went 8 carries, 119 yards, 3 TDs. But a fantastic player. He's at over 400 yards right now on the season, probably scratching 502 games.
Yeah, I mean, well, like I say, their offensive line, they've got such a good offensive line unit. Not only size, but they finish their blocks. And when they start leaning on you and you get this kid right here running down your throat, I mean, it's a tough combination. And, I know in the Kickoff Classic, they didn't beat Lakeland, but I'm telling you right now, if you watch the game film, I don't pay attention to scores a lot. But when you watch the game film on that, they had a few bad breaks early on. But that was an evenly matched game right there. And if you played that game 10 times, you're going to get 5 wins for each team. But this kid really is just a special talent. We'll look at him right now on film. I put this highlight together over the first few games. Just excellent balance, tough kid, has speed. But this kid's just going to be a fun kid to watch over the next mini games coming up.
I love his footwork in tight spaces, how he gets small with the burst. He's got just like, for you young kids out there, when you're looking at running backs, the first thing I look at is balance, okay? And then his vision. Can he anticipate tacklers? How is he in the open space? Does he make the first guy miss more likely than not? And then can he break contact? So you're looking at all these things from a guy who's probably under 5'10", 180 pounds, rocked up, solid. And then he's running behind dudes who are 6'4" that tackles, 300 pounds across the board. And he's just a special player. I just love his burst, his first step and his explosion. And he just has that anticipation, that vision, man. And when he gets to the second level, more than likely he's going to the house. If they let him get to the second level, he's going to make a play. He's always looking for the end zone.
Yep. And I mean, just in what they did, against Venice, I mean, you got to look at the teams that they've opened up with. And just a Lakeland Venice right off the bat, and this kid's getting it done. Here he is on a kick return. But he just, and the lineage over at Elmwood over the past many decades, this kid is right at near or at the top for running backs, and they've put out some NFL guys in the past. But this kid right here for a high school running back is just a truly special talent, and he's going to be fun to watch. I'm putting together video right now, which I'll show you here in a bit. They bring in that number 4 right here. They bring in number 4 to get some carries too. He's a wide receiver, and he also plays a little running back. And he's a good-looking athlete as well. And he blocks from the wide receiver spot. But we'll feature his video here in a bit. But they really do. They've got a fun group of kids over there just watching them play defense. That cornerback number 11, though, I'll tell you, I like that kid. 6'2", and he's got long arms, and he just does things on film already as a young cornerback that's going to be fun to watch in the next few years. So, but yeah, I'll pass it back to you, and I'm going to finish cutting up. I'll finish cutting up number 4, and I'll let you know when I got it done.
Yeah, that number 11, Jalen Waters. Yeah, he's young and he's good. He is really good. I got a couple of highlight videos as well.